happy to present my colleagues from Engineering Academic Services here. So Tiffany Kanda will talk more about who we are and what we do for our students.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you're coming from. My name is Tiffany Kanda, and I'm one of the academic advisors in Engineering Academic Services. And we are your go-to people for everything and anything academic related when it comes to engineering. Of course, if you don't know where to go, I want you to hear today, come see us. We're happy to help, whether physically you're on campus right now, or maybe virtually because you're not here. We want to help you out today or at any point in your engineering journey. So we're excited to meet all of you and have you stop by and say hi really soon. With that, I will pass it over to my colleague, Dheeraj.
Hi, everyone. So lovely to have you all here. My name is Dheeraj Warren. I am a student support specialist with Engineering Academic Advising. Yeah, you will probably hear from me quite a bunch. I'm also joined by my colleagues, Sarah and Jess, who will be assisting us as well. Today, we'll be responding to your questions, available by chat if you have any issues. Broadly, we are here to support you. We're so excited to have you. Welcome. Yeah.
All right, and we are moving on to the most important thing today that you are here to listen to. We're going to learn about transfer credits, and our goal is for you after the session that you understand your transfer credits, you have a better understanding how to apply those credits to your degree requirements, and how to register for your courses in winter session. So let's dive into details. Before you begin understanding, just as you could see in the introductions today, we have students from a variety of paths. There are so many ways of how you can transfer to UBC. You can be one of the transfer from the post-secondary institutions in BC, in Canada, or from abroad. We have students who are bringing in their advanced credits from high school. We have students who completed an engineering transfer program or common first year engineering program at one of our partner institutions. You could be a student coming from a CG pre-university program, or you may have had a prior degree before you joined UBC engineering, or you're internally transferring from different faculties. So there are so many different students coming from different paths, but one thing is in common, that you will be joining our program this year, and we are happy and excited to have you. So first and foremost, all transfer students ask, where do I find my transfer credits? What do I know what's been awarded to me? When you were accepted to UBC as a transfer student, you were given some transfer by admissions, and this is where you can find them in Workday Student. I'm sure you have some time to research and review them under your academic staff, and this is where you could see the list of courses that transfer credits that have been awarded to you. So we are going to dive into more detail how to understand what you see in this tab over there. This is a screenshot of what you could possibly see. And here in the column with the transfer credits, you can see a list of UBC courses with codes. These are your transfer credits that have been given to you. On the right-hand side, you can see a corresponding institutions with the exact codes from the other courses that were used to give you these credits. As you can see, there are different types of transfer credits you can receive. And in this session, we're going to review different types so you understand them better. One of the easiest ways to understand what transfer credits you receive would be probably for specific credit. How to see that the course was specific? When you see exact UBC code with the exact name and number. So here's an example here with the Math 101 Integral Calculus and Application. That is exact course that is offered at UBC, and this is where you see under your transfer credits tab. What it means that the course you transferred from the other institution was very similar to that UBC course, with at least 80% overlap. It could be even the same textbook, there's a similar number of hours, similar learning outcomes, maybe even the similar examination questions. So UBC were comfortable to award you credits for this specific course as if this course was taken at UBC. It means you don't need to repeat it again. The other types of transfer credits, what we call general credits, those credits that you need to learn to understand what it means. How to recognize your general credits. The general credits only have the code, but they don't have the specific number. They only have the year level. Let's say in the example here, you can see in the ellipse, it's computer science first. It means it's a computer science first year level course, but there's no name of the course assigned to it. What does it mean? It means that the course that you took at the institution was not offered at UBC, or the content of that course was not similar enough to give you specific credits. But you need to know that even though you were awarded some general credits, it is still possible to use these courses for your specific program requirements. And this is where we are here to help you to identify which course will cover what requirement. The other type of transfer credits that you may receive will be also general credit with exemption. So exemption is a very specific term to transfer students, but because you're transferring from different institutions, you will be experts on transfer credits very soon. So exemption means that the course you transferred is not similar to UBC course, but the content, there's enough content in the course for you that you don't have to repeat the UBC equivalent course. And this is how it's recorded. You will receive general credits, like an example here, like applied science first or chemistry first. And then there is an exempted course, such as applied science 160 or exemption for chemistry 154. What does exemption mean? Exemption means that even though the general credit is not the same, there's enough content overlap for you to not to repeat that course at UBC. How to recognize those exempted courses on Workday. Here's an example of what you can see on the screen. In the example here, the student received 10 math first credits, okay? And this is where the number of credits appear here. But you also can see, but the math 101 is with the 0 credit is exempt. But if you can look at the right-hand side, you can see 3 different courses from one of the colleges in the United States was used to give these credits. And probably the content of the Math 101 was spread over 3 different courses. So because one course could not be awarded, you could still cover enough content to be exempt from taking that course. So this is how you can recognize exemption. So if you see that 0 credit, so it means that there was other course used to cover the content of that exempted course. So this is the first section where we just learned about different types of transfer credits that you received. In the next section, we are going to learn how to understand requirements for the applied science degree and how to apply your transfer credits to those requirements. So before you joined the program, I'm sure you had spent some time to understand what UBC engineering is about. And you learned about the first engineering program that's listed here on this slide. As you can see, all first-year students need to complete 37 credits. This is a mandatory program curriculum. And here on the right-hand side, you can see transfer credits equivalents that you could receive to cover those requirements. And this is where you may need help understanding those credits. And these credits and equivalencies are listed on Engineering Academic website. So in the transfer credits, you can see not just the courses you need to take, but also other UBC codes that cover the same requirements. So even though you might have received, as an example here, for Math 152. So this is a linear algebra course, but you may have received credits for Math 221. Or Math 223. But you need to learn using this table that these transfer credits would actually cover Math 152 requirement for applied science program. On the Engineering Academic website, there is also a full list of assessed credits from advanced credits that you may have received. If you transferred those credits earlier when you joined other post-secondary institutions and you already sent those official results to those schools, and you would like to use these credits for UBC engineering program, you would need to send those results again. Even though these credits may still appear on your other transcript, we would need to see the original document if you want to see the transcript used for your program. So if you haven't sent those results yet, please send the official results again to UBC now. And then you can see here in this list, you can check how you could use these credits for your program requirements in engineering. For internal UBC transfer students, we also have a list of equivalencies, and you can also see if any of the courses were already assessed, and they will appear on your equivalency chart or in the document that we might have shared with you earlier, which is we usually call interim transfer credit summary that you may have received. If you accepted the offer recently, you probably will be receiving this document very soon. And here you could see what equivalencies were given to you. If you've taken any courses that you do not find on this list, or you do not find in the Workday student, but you're confident that the content of the course was very similar to one of the UBC courses that you will have to take as part of your program, you can always apply for evaluation of that course. And I'll be talking more about the process and your steps later. For post-secondary transfer students, if you have completed all courses from the engineering transfer credit transfer program, so we assume that you have fully covered first-year engineering requirements. When you log into your Workday student, you may notice that your requirements do not show as fully covered. But please do not worry. If you completed the full program and you received interim transfer summary, it means that we will take some time to apply those general credits to cover those requirements. For the registration purposes, we recommend that you use this document for reference. So your Workday student will reflect your transfer credits and how they apply to those requirements, and we will be updating this throughout this session, and we will let you know when this process is complete. So for students transferring from post-secondary institutions, your transfer credits were assessed on a case-by-case. It means that every individual course will be evaluated differently or in combination with others. So if you find the courses that you have taken, but they do not appear on your transfer credits list, you will also have an option to submit the evaluation requests. For students from Quebec who completed CCHIP program, your transfer credits will not appear until you provide your final transcript showing full completion of the program. So once you submit your final document, you will be able to see the actual transfer credits awarded for you for each course you've taken. For students who have completed a full degree before joining UBC Engineering, you will not see any transfer credits, but please do not worry. We're working on your documents and your transfer credits behind the scenes and try to identify the possible matches. And here I would definitely recommend booking an appointment with us so we can help you navigate your transfer credits, because they will not show on the system yet. So you will need to understand what courses you need to register and which courses you're still missing in your requirements. For students coming through Camosun Bridge program, you have completed 2 full years. You will be going directly into a 3rd year into specific specialization. And you will need to contact us if you have completed, if you're in civil or mining engineering, you will have completed any humanities courses, and you would like to use any of these courses, please contact us individually, because these courses will not appear on your records until you let us know that you would like to use extra credits from humanities. And again, even after we have completed the first review, and if you believe there are more courses that you would like to use, you will still have an option to submit a request. So that option is still available for all students who feel that there are more courses that they could be transferring. So how do you know whether the course was assessed by UBC before or not? So this is an UBC transfer credit search tool that you can access through the university website, and you can check if the course was ever reviewed and there was any equivalency assigned to it. So if you see the equivalency assigned, you can check with us to see if these equivalents can be used to cover any program requirements. If you do not find the course, most likely was never evaluated. So you can be the first ones who initiated the full review. And so how to submit your request for courses evaluation? If you're placed into year one, student, please be mindful that your upper level transfer credits, those courses that you usually take in year two, will be only evaluated once we know your specialization. So in your first year, we will only focus in on your first year requirements. Once you're placed into your specialization, we can be working on your other courses that you may have taken in your program and see if there are any similar courses that you could also transfer. So for students admitted into year two, waiting for your specialization placement, same would apply to you. For now, we are only looking at your first year courses and maybe some common second year courses, but not specific courses to your major that you might have taken in your post-secondary studies. So those courses will be evaluated later, and you will need to reach out to us once you know your specialization so we can initiate a new process here. Here is the QR code that you can use to submit the form. And this is where we would send it for evaluation. Please be mindful that these evaluations do take time because they will be sent to corresponding department for a thorough review, and the results may not be available right away. And so when Tiffany will be talking more about what you need to do when you applied for evaluation, but you have not received the results yet, and how do you know which courses to register in.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Natalia. And we have just covered a lot about how specifically, like, what are those transfer credits we may have, how to get them evaluated, and all of those pieces. So let's start by talking about registration. So we're looking ahead into the future here, and we want to know, what are we going to register for? And so here we go. The registration timeline at UBC, we have two sessions. We have a winter session and we have a summer session. And both of those sessions have two terms. And right now we're just rolling into what is called the winter session registration period. And you can see on the slide, there's a variety of different dates here. You can locate the one that is yours. So if you're a year one student, we're going to be registering in a couple weeks here. Year threes are at the beginning of July. Year two students are in that middle of July sector. So a little bit of time for you year two students here still. And as you can see, summer session, so this would be next year, summer 2025, which seems crazy. 2025 is soon. This would be in March next year to register for that summer session. All righty, let's talk about it. So how do you know, when do I register? When is that time that I'm actually able to go in the system and fully register? So when you log into Workday, you get to go to your academics tab, that registration and courses view right here. You can see the picture on the slide, and then you're going to be able to see that registration appointment. For the winter session, you're going to get two different lines here, but guess what? You don't need to worry. Both the times and dates are the same. And so you'll be able to register, you know, once that date and time passes, you can go right in and register. Certainly you can go on after the fact too, just not before. Okay, so we have a variety of folks here with us today. This first piece is going to be about year one course planning, but fear not, upper year students. I'm going to get to you in just a minute. So let's talk about year one course planning. First and foremost, recommendation, I would recommend you coming and speaking to an EAS advisor about course planning. Myself, my colleagues, all of us are here to help you out and ensure that you have the best package of courses this next year to ensure success in whatever you're planning for that future engineering program. So for our first year students who are transferring into first year engineering, we are looking to take 24 credits in the winter session, which is all the way from September 2024 to April 2025 with those 2 terms in there. Often this works out to 8 courses, 4 courses per term normally. Now you'll see here just a little bit of a preview, more to come in a moment, that you may be taking some first-year engineering courses. There's a variety of options between some pre-registered courses, some self-select courses being the English and humanities, potentially some complementary study options, and then some common degree requirements. We're going to talk about it more specifically right now. So our first year engineering course options, you will see they're 37 credits. Natalia has already mentioned that in the equivalency chart. You will notice here that the chart along the side has 31 of that core engineering requirements. And this is what I'm going to refer to as pre-registered courses. Now, if you're a transfer student into year 1 engineering with us this fall, you're missing one of these courses here, one of these 37 or 31 credits, pardon me, we are going to be pre-registering you into these courses. So, you don't have to do any work for that. You're going to get that course. So if you're missing Chemistry 154, we're going to register you into that. So, you will start to see that shortly if you haven't already. There's also, of course, 6 more credits, so 2 other courses to make up that 37 credits of the first year material, which is the English course, first year English and humanities option. Now, these are self-registered, so you get to pick. You get to pick which English course fits the bill for you, as well as that humanities elective. Now, there is lots of humanities electives to choose from, thousands with the Faculty of Arts. We have a database that, of course, is not exhausted because they always are introducing more courses, but we try our best to stay on top of it. Feel free to check that out if you're trying to, figure out which humanities elective you may want to take. All right, and this is a really important message here for really everybody here today, that you may be evaluated or are in the process of being evaluated for some transfer credits right now, but the final result isn't out yet. You're not too sure if you've received them. Please go ahead and register for those courses, because the worst thing I would want any student to do is drop a course and then be told later that they don't get that transfer credit. We always want to make sure that students have everything they can get. And so we want to register for that course. Once that evaluation comes in, if it says, hey, you have this transfer credit, you are good to go at that time, please come and chat with us and we'll, make sure everything's good to go. And maybe you can drop that course because, hey, you already have transfer credits for it. But good to hold on to it until it's super known and on your record. All right, so these complementary study options, as I mentioned before, maybe you have registered for some of the first year requirements and you're not quite to that 24 credits yet. You need to find a few more courses to take. Some great options here is, the complementary studies. We have an additional 3 more credits of humanities. 3 credits you saw was in first year. We have 3 more credits allotted to, our upper year studies. We can absolutely take them at this point. There's a couple other courses here, being our impact course, our technical communication course, and then a mention about common degree requirements. And these are some of those upper year, second year courses that maybe fit between a few programs. These 3 options, I would recommend coming and talking to us, an EAS advisor about, and it would be a part of that course planning discussion to find what are the best courses to fit the picture you're hoping to build one day. So if you're really looking into going to a specific program, we want to make sure that you are taking a course that would fit the bill for many of the programs, and not take a course that, if you're placed in a program and it's not used for that, that's the last thing I would want to see for any student. So come and talk to us about that course planning piece. Now, there's a mention here, you can do some prep work, and perhaps one of my colleagues can post in the chat that link to the continuing year 1 course planning page. This here is for our students in engineering already who are taking multiple years of first year. There's a lot of course planning elements that would absolutely be here for you if you're transferring into first year. And just a little handy note here, all these courses that we're talking about here would be self-registered courses. So you get to make that choice. You get to register into those courses. All right, if you're not my second and above year students, here we go for your course planning options. And so if you are a second year student, you're transferring into second year, you are still waiting on your program results, no worries. As you saw, the second year registration is kind of that second week in July, so we got a lot of time here. Here, us and EAS will be shortly, letting people know about their program placement. Normally that comes, towards the end of the month of June. So that will be coming your way shortly. And I know that is super helpful when you're even thinking about course planning, right? Because kind of good to know what program you're in. So that will be coming out later this month. Now, you may need to register in some first year courses you're missing. Super fair. So those pre-registered courses I just spoke about for our first year transfer students, these courses, so those 31 credits on that right-hand side, we will not be pre-registering you, and you actually get to take this action. So you need to register yourself into these courses. Whether that is the waitlist, because there's maybe not general seats quite yet, or if there's general seats, you go right into that class. However, this is for you. You get to make the choice to get into these 31 credits. Certainly English and humanities still follow the same suit, self-registered courses. You get to pick which options you want here. Now, as I just said, second year courses, they're still to come. Once you find out about your program, absolutely, you can speak to your program advisor. And we have a link here on our website. If you are going to navigate your degree, this is the EAS website, engineering program contacts. This is all of them here. They are always open and happy to talk to their students. So once you know what program you're in, you may want to chat with your program advisor about course planning, especially if we're maybe missing any first year requirements that would maybe change up our curriculum or course plan for this 24 winter session. Okay, so how do we register in the system here? And this is super important. Now, right here, these are for your first year transfer students, about those pre-registered courses I talked about, those 31 credits. If you've been, pre-registered in them, you may have already see, and maybe coming shortly, you can go into Workday, your academics tab, and this is in your kind of top apps here. So maybe your best friends very shortly. So locate that. Under registration and courses, you will see a registration option, which is in kind of that right-hand picture there, and you can view your courses. And so you can definitely take a look at this. And this could be helpful when we're going to start talking about planning those other courses you might need to take in the winter session. So these saved schedules, we might want to do some pre-work, and I would recommend doing it, right? So we can get to registration day and it's seamless. You click a button, it goes and registers. So let's build a saved schedule. This here allows you to spend some time finding the courses you want, saving them in a saved schedule, and then, as I said, one click and you get to register. So sounds like a good deal to me. Now, in order to do this, you probably want to find some courses, right? So once again, we're going to that new best friend, the academics tab, going to registration and courses in the menu. We're going to go to registration again. So lots of registration here, right? And then find course section. So this is when we want to start finding those courses that we want to take. So maybe we've already met with that advisor, we've done the course planning piece, and we're here to start to find those courses. Now let's do it. So just moving ahead here. So we're finding those courses. We are finding the right academic term. And you can see here, this window is going to pop up. We want to go for future periods because in fact, September is in the future. So 24 winters in the future. So we're going to choose that. We get to choose either term 1 or term 2 to start our search off. We want to hit undergraduate because that is our academic level. And we're going to keep going here. So the OK button to move forward here. And then you can see here that we can filter our results. So we may type in the search bar our specific course that we want to take. Where we may parse down even farther. We might want to say, specific levels, all of those things. Just depends on what you're looking for here. And from there, we are going to, once we find that course we're interested in taking, we can click that open, and you can see on the bottom here, you can see on that picture, there's an option to add it to your safe schedule, which is awesome. You get to start to build out that safe schedule for yourself. Now, as I mentioned just a second ago, with those pre-registered courses, we may want to have that, current courses in another window beside us. So then we can continue to make sure that what we've already been registered for, so this is specifically for my year one transfer students, that what we're adding to our safe schedule is going to be okay, because we don't want to get to registration day and say, oh dear, there was a conflict and I could have maybe planned with a different course. So that's a little bit of a helpful tip as we go forward. Now there is open seat versus waitlist seat. So maybe as you're starting to look through these courses, I want to just draw your attention to that status. And I know it's really maybe small in this picture, but there's a status option, and that's where it's going to be open, or there might be a wait list option there instead. And that's something just to keep in mind. So those open means there's open seats available. And obviously if it says waiting list, that means we are already to a wait list option for that course. And that might be, a good thing to keep in mind depending on the course you are hoping to register for. So for my year two students who are maybe looking to register in some of those missing first year requirements, potentially they may be waitlist options. And that's okay, right? Because we've just heard that that is the way forward for us to register. Mostly this has to do with the types of seats available early on. And so if we see that waitlist option, fear not. Please go ahead and register yourself in the waitlist, and we hope to get as many students as we can in those courses as we have capacity for. All right, so we're going to continue forward. So we are still creating that safe schedule. We have found a course we are excited to take. We are adding it to our safe schedule. We want to make sure if there's anything else, so maybe some other things that are associated with the course, like a lab, maybe a discussion group, that we add those into. You'll see here in these screenshots that it's going to pop up and say, oh, there's another part that you need to add. Make sure we're also adding that into our safe schedule, because certainly registration day comes, it's going to want to see that. It wants to see that other option, and it will give you an alert if not. So definitely get that into your saved schedule, and you're done. Look at that go. You've already created a course in your safe schedule, and you're just going to continue to repeat those steps. Now, a little bit of tips. Let's maybe think about it. So as I already mentioned, that was that hot tip of maybe those students who have pre-registered courses, we're going to have that on one side as we're looking at our other options to save in a safe schedule. Have a few options. Now, have a few safe schedule options. It's great to get to registration day. You click and it's your, number one save schedule option, and you get all the courses for. That's great. But we might get to registration day and it's like, oh dear, some of the courses I was hoping to take have filled moment. So then you can just refer back to that and register in that version of your save schedule. I have a few options. If an alert pops up, you are going to put your detective hat on. You're going to say, all right, what's going on? Why can't I register in this course? And maybe it's a prereq or co-req issue. And what I mean by that is, for lots of courses, you may need to take a course before you can take this course. And because we are all transfer students here, potentially that prereq maybe is a transfer credit. And maybe the system isn't reading it quite right. It's not quite recognizing that this transfer credit actually satisfies, the prereq listed for the course you're trying to register in. If that happens to you and you're like, I swear I have the course, just come and talk to us. We may not be your final destination, but we are happy to kind of troubleshoot it with you and send you on your way to where you need to go to get some maybe help to get into that final course. So maybe we forgot to also add the discussion group, the lab, that secondary section that's a part of that lecture section. Maybe we need to go back and do that. And that's why we're getting that error. There's potentially other errors out there too. If you put that detective hat on and can't figure it out, just come talk to us. We're happy to help and figure it out with you. Just as if you didn't know, there's 10-minute breaks between class. Good to just take a little look on, Google Maps, that UBC Wayfinder, to say, all right, this course is handled in this building. This course that I'm looking to do right after is in this building. There's 10-minute walk. However, is this reasonable to walk between these classes between 10 minutes, or do I need to figure out a different mode of transportation, like a scooter or something else? So good to just have a heads up on that front. The add drop deadline. Now, I'm sure many of you from prior institutions have done this before. There's an add drop deadline in the future where you can add and drop courses up until that point. For term 1 and term 2, these dates, as you're seeing on the screen, well in the future. So if we get to a place that, as you heard, we get that transfer credit evaluation completed and we are successful, we have that course, we did the thing, we registered in that course, we want to maybe drop it, there's lots of time here for that to happen. And so once again, just that final reminder, please don't drop courses until you have that final evaluation completed and it's on your record. All right, so registering from a safe schedule. You have done all the hard work. You have built that safe schedule. You get to registration day and your appointment time opens up and you're able to register. You get to come, and you can see here this picture of the safe schedule. There is a registration button that appears, or register, I should say. You get to click it and register your courses. That's amazing. You've done that prep work, so you get the reward of a one-click option. Now, hopefully everything goes to plan, and you can see that there are 3 kind of options that will happen after you click that register button. And I hope the 3rd option is the biggest version for you. So the top option being unsuccessful registrations, potentially something has gone amiss. And this is where we put that detective hat on and start to figure out what has happened. Is it maybe a prerequisite issue? Did I forget to add another, the discussion group with this lecture? Maybe it's something else entirely. If you can't figure it out, no worries, come talk to us. We're here to help. Maybe that middle section being the waitlisted, perhaps we had to get on the wait list. Maybe you're one of our 2nd year transfer students and you say, you know what, that was the only way for my 1st year course. Super fair, you were expecting that. Maybe the very popular humanities course is filled up and you're on a wait list. That happens too. Potentially we might want to move to saying, hey, we want to take a different humanities course. That's great too. And that last section, I hope, is the biggest for you, is successful registrations. It's going to share with you and show all of the success that you have. Okay, so can you register, in an individual course? Absolutely. That's the short answer. So that popular humanities is filled up and you're like, oh boy, I need to find, or I'd like to find another option. Go ahead. You can search in that course section that we looked at previously. Find that course. Your registration is already opened. You can see here in this screenshot that there will be an add to safe schedule button and also a register. You can just register right into it. Of course, if you don't have any conflicts. If you have already registered for a course in that time period that you're hoping to register for your new humanities course, probably not going to work out. So make sure we have no conflicts as well in that registration moment. What if we are looking at courses and the registration button doesn't appear? We have save to schedule or, a troubleshoot button, which is this white button you can see down below there. That means there's maybe something going on. And this is where, once again, that detective hat comes on. We're going to try and figure out what is missing. Do I meet the eligibility for the class? Do I have that prereq? Is that prereq a transfer credit? Maybe that's why the system isn't reading it right. Once again, as I've shared previously, if we can't figure it out, come talk to us. We're happy to help along the way here. All right, big message here, team. So at the end of the day, you folks are responsible. So you are responsible for completing all degree requirements in all year levels, which you have not received transfer credits for. So I absolutely can appreciate there's many people here who have received transfer credits for certain courses. Now you got to fill out the rest of the degree, whether it's a year 1 course all the way to a year 4 course. You have to take those requirements in order to graduate. And we're here to help along the way. Your program advisors are here to help when it comes to year 2, 3, and 4. If you're in EngPhys, that would be year 5, registration and course planning. But at the end of the day, we're all happy to help you on your journey forward. So what happens if you need a little bit of help? Guess what? We all do, and we're here to help. So if you need some help about specifically transfer credits, you're welcome to book an appointment with the transfer credit advisor, which is Natalia here, through our PD portal. Similarly, in the PD portal, if you want to book an appointment about, course planning, all of those things with an engineering academic advisor, such as myself and my colleagues, you're welcome to also use the PD portal to book those appointments. If you're a year 2 or upper year student, you will book your course planning appointments with your program advisors. And so once you know your program, you're welcome to go and connect with those folks. Now, we also have a registration FAQ page on our website, so perhaps you can self-select and learn from that if you have any questions. But the fastest option is absolutely our virtual drop-in with quick questions, our Zoom advising. Feel free to come and see us there. We're running it Monday to Friday, multiple times a day during registration period. So we're here to help and answer your questions quickly, because I can appreciate that sometimes those questions have to come pretty quickly. If not, we also have email, our contact us form, lots of things here. That scan me code, QR code will get you to our contact us page. Feel free to bookmark that one along the way here for you. And with that, we get to the end. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. And it was a joy to speak about course registration with all of you. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Natalia, and we're going to kick off our Q&A section here.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. That was a lot of information. Please take it easy. You will have a chance to review the slides and step-by-step process. So because it might be overwhelming right now, we totally understand that. But if you have any general questions that you would like to get quick response during that session, please post it in chat and we'll be happy to answer it right now. So we'll give you a few moments to reflect on the information that you just received. And if student support will help me if there were any questions asked during the presentation earlier. All right, I have a very first question. Very brave student asking about general credits and how the general credits work. So if you've been awarded general credits, and the example is chemistry first, or may not fulfill the specific course requirement, what do I need? So for general credits, I highly recommend to talk to us before you know specific answer, because it will depend. Sometimes general credits can be applied to cover the program requirements because they were already evaluated earlier, or sometimes you will need to submit a new request. So when you contact us, we will help you identify whether a new request is needed or not. So I'm also sending you interim transfer credits summaries. And if you can see in the summary, this course been already assigned equivalency, and it already says that the requirements been satisfied, probably no further action is required, even though your academic progress report may not show that this requirement's been completed. But if your summary states that, it means this course was already evaluated before. But if it was not, if it sits as a general credit, most likely you will need to submit evaluation. But we're happy to confirm that when you submit, contact us with more questions.
All right, Natalia, it looks like we also have a whole bunch of questions that have come in through our Q&A feature here, which is awesome. So why don't I ask you the first one and we'll go from there. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so just to confirm, you said that completing an engineering certificate at one of the transfer institutions will mean you have completed all first-year requirements, correct? other than, in brackets, social humanities electives. This applies to post-secondary students and not just the 1-year transfer guaranteed, as long as you finish all courses in the program. Natalia, I think you are the best person to answer this one.
All right. Yes, it is correct if you completed all requirements. And for some programs that are offered through one of our partners institutions, they actually also offer humanities as part of their programs. So I would say, again, please refer to the summary that will indicate which requirements have been covered and which requirements are still needed to be completed.
Wonderful. Thanks so much,
also,
Natalia.
okay.
So go ahead.
All right. There's a question. Can students drop off at the office and ask questions in the main mall? Tiffany, what do you think?
You know what? We would absolutely love you to, in fact. So our office is open most days from 9 to 4. That's Monday to Friday. Right now, during the year, our hours change just slightly, but during registration period, we're 9 to 4, and we absolutely love to see our current students. I also can appreciate that not all of you maybe live locally, and that's okay. When you get here in September, feel free to drop by as well. But you can also see us virtually through our Zoom drop-in features as well until you get here to campus. But if you're here, come on by. We're happy to see you.
Okay, there's another question. I'm PBME student. On the Workday portal, it says that you already pre-registered me. Do I still need to self-register in humanity courses on the registration day?
So this is a great question, and welcome to UBC. We're happy to have you. And so for your humanities courses, if you want to take your humanities, I'll put it that way, absolutely, you would register in that course on your registration day. So feel free to take a look, take a peek at which humanities courses you might want to register into, put those into saved schedules, and register for them. Feel free to come chat with us if you would like to also register in humanities. I know that the PBME timetable is a lot of courses, so sometimes students don't take their humanities in their first years yet. All right, Natalia, the next question here, should you wait until the second year placement results are in order to do your course planning? What do you think about that?
I would think it's good to do some more research. You can definitely start looking what's possible, what courses you're still missing, and familiarize yourself with the system, how to search for courses from year one that you still need to add in the future to your schedules. I think it's a good idea, but I would still wait for the placement if you really want to know for sure which program you will be in, because most of your courses probably will be taken by your specialization courses. And then you will be adding your missing first year requirements to that schedule already.
Yeah, I absolutely
definitely play around with the system, look for the options, familiarize yourself so you're more comfortable adding those courses in once the time comes when you're able to register and add them in.
Yeah, absolutely fair, Natalia, to know what those first year courses maybe you're missing are. For those on the call who are, second year students, placement results will always come out before registration day. So you won't be going into registration blind. You will always have that opportunity to know which program you're in before you register. Now, Natalia, I think this might be for you here, this next most popular question. So this individual said, I was sent a PDF file of a summary of my transfer credits, and at the bottom of the file, it says the grades from transfer credits will not be used in any UBC GPA calculations, brackets, engineering, second year placement or admissions, or the engineering co-op program. Based on this, could you please clarify what the basis of the engineering placement will be decided on for transfer students?
Thank you. This is a great question. your admission average will be used for your placement if you've been if you're eligible for placement into the second year. Okay, but you start earning your GPA at UBC from the moment you start taking courses at UBC. Okay, so if you are looking to qualify, let's say for international programs, you want to go on exchange in the future, you do specific GPA. That GPA will be only based on your UBC credits. I hope I answered my question.
Awesome. Thanks, Natalia. Certainly, if that didn't clarify it for those folks, you are welcome to ask us or send us an email. We're happy to clarify further.
Okay, there's another question. Will EAS advisor register us for the required first year classes that we receive transfer credits for? If you receive transfer credits for, the answer is no. It means we assume that you will be using your transfer credits. But if you are willing to take these courses and you're willing not to take your transfer credits, please let us know. Transfer credits is an option, but definitely if you prefer to take these courses at UBC and maybe repeating some of the content again, or maybe you took this program a long time ago and you want a refresher, you're welcome to take this course again, but please reach out for that because once your credits are posted, we will assume that you want to use those credits and we will not register you into those courses.
Alrighty, Pedro here has a question saying, hi, thank you for all the valuable information. Will EAS advisor register us for the required first year classes received transfer credits for? Sounds like you kind of answered that a second ago.
Yeah, I just answered the question. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so that was exactly what Pedro was saying. So that is wonderful. We have answered that one already. So on to the last question then, Natalia. Is there a planning sheet for our engineering program of choice when registering for courses after declaration? This is a great question. And I'm imagining you're asking this question as a year 2 transfer student, and you're most likely about to be placed in a program. Once you're placed in a program, our wonderful engineering programs, all of them have registration information available. Some of them are on the website. Some of it is going to be emailed to you. Some of them use Canvas courses. There's lots of different varieties, but that information will be available to you. If you haven't already checked it out, certainly maybe your top choice programs, you're welcome to go to their websites already. Many of them have information available already about what to expect. So you're welcome to take a look, but they'll be in touch or you're welcome to take a look once you're placed in your program.
That's as a wrap-up question. There's enough parking permits for students from winter session?
Fair question. And I can appreciate that you want to ensure that you have your parking needs covered. Certainly feel free to get that parking pass that works best for you. There's a variety of choices, of course, depending on your needs. We have always had enough options for parking for our students. Definitely take a look and check it out, to get that all sorted for this fall.
Thank you very much, Tiffany. So I think we are just about finishing our workshop today. We're just 5:02. We have covered a lot of information. We'll be sending a link to the recording of today's session. We will have the slides with the step-by-step instructions, with the QR codes that you can access very quickly. If you're still not familiar with our website, but I cannot stress enough, please make sure you familiarize yourself with the system, and please do not hesitate to reach out. We are here to support you and help you with your educational journey to UBC. And we will say bye for now and see you very soon.
Bye. Thanks so much for coming.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.